that it is inaccurate. However, it's the number that is used when reapportioning districts or looking at whether reapportioning needs to occur. So it's kind of the number that we're stuck with using, although there are indications that it is inaccurate.
Thank you.
Council, any more questions for our attorney?
I have a question.
Identify yourself for the record, please.
My name is Raven St. Julian.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand that, like you said, it was deviation with the census and things of that nature. So what would be the problem with just making it equal across the board for the districts?
What would be the problem?
What is the issue with doing that?
It's not necessarily a problem in that it can't be done, but it's very difficult to make the populations exactly equal while still considering there's a list of other traditional redistricting principles that need to be considered. So now there is software today that, demographers have that you can make, 100 maps of, but there's things to be considered other than just the number of people in each district that courts look at to determine whether a map is constitutional.
Right, I understand that, but I'm just trying to figure out why would the city council see a problem with just making it equal across the board, or close to equal, knowing that we have these problems and these deviations within it. That would be like the most.
Well, and that's what I think our map, the proposed map does. It follows all the traditional redistricting principles, as well as, of course, trying to get the population as equal as possible. And what the court looks at is called a standard or a maximum deviation percentage between the districts. So it's not necessarily person for person. The court allows a range for local municipalities.
And the law that's in place basically says, if we follow the law, it will be easy for us just to make this happen without.
Well, the law says that there is an allowable percentage deviation.
Right.
So this map is within that percentage deviation and complies with all of the other principles that are looked at in redistricting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the audience?
Just a quick question. This is Ahmed Susi.
Identify yourself, please.
Ahmed Susi. I just wanted to make sure we'll be able to speak before you guys move to the next thing, or?
You can speak now.
Okay, so we were on the agenda to present. I just wanted to make sure that was still okay.
The topic at hand is what you're here for, and you can speak at this time.
Perfect.
We are under discussion.
Perfect. Is it okay if I?
Please.
Okay.
Sir, and all presentations are limited to 7 minutes.
Thank you so much. Again, my name is Ahmed Susi. Another person's coming, so I'll say my name again. I also have some documents for you guys. Is it okay if I pass them? Yes. Sure. Again, my name is Ahmed Susi. I'm with the Southern Poverty Law Center. I'm here with my colleagues, Rose and Angelica, and we have the honor of representing the Vermillion NAACP in this litigation. We have a couple of more. I got a couple more, so I'm gonna make the rounds real quick. Do I have your guys' copies or do you? Would you like to talk with your? We have. Okay, sounds good. So again, Ahmed Susi and I'm on behalf of the Southern Poverty Law Center. You guys may remember because I came here in 2022. But our organization since 2021 has been involved in the redistricting process here in the city of Abbeville. You go within the records, we sent a letter in 2021 informing the city of its constitutional requirements, not only of the 14th Amendment, but also Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. And I understand at 2021, you guys decided to pause until the new election to redistrict in 2022. Our organization sent another letter in 2022, specifically on that one person, one vote issue that Jordan mentioned, explaining that the current 4-district configuration, the population, was unconstitutional, and not just by a share, but so much so that if we were to get into litigation, you all would have the responsibility to defend this malapportionment. We provided alternative maps during that session. You guys may remember we had the big poster board. But the city council decided unanimously to keep the 2010 configuration, which led us to go into litigation. You may remember that in September of 2023, we sent another letter with another map, and this map is a absolute perfect proportionality map. There was 2 people difference between districts. We sent that in September and asked the city council to consider redistricting because we don't want to sue. As a lawyer, I like to litigate, but what I care about is making sure that everyone has equal voting power. So try to resolve that beforehand. We got into litigation, and because of that litigation, the city is now going to decide to redistrict. And it has the opportunity to create equal districts. One of the things in the Vermilion NAACP map compared to the Abbeville City Council map is there is proportionality. It's fair and equitable. I want to clarify when I'm saying fair and equitable. I'm not talking about terms of feelings. The hard data show why it's fair and equitable. If you just look at the numbers of the differences of each 4 city council districts in the Abbeville proposed map, that has a 200-person difference. If you look at the Vermilion NAACP map, there is a 20-person difference. The reason why it's imperative to have equal districts is we just saw a special election decided by 1 vote. So 1 person has that much power to make a decision in 1 district. It's crucial for other city council policies to have equal districts. One of the great things about the Vermilion NAACP map is it has the basic configuration to the Vermilion. I apologize. The Vermilion NAACP map has the same configuration of districts compared to the Abbeville map. Our letter that we sent in September, the districts were a little bit different here because we want to settle this case, right? We're still in active litigation. Part of that settlement we heard from you guys is you want to keep those same basic shapes. You just compare your guys' cells, and if you were to look at the map, Abbeville, you guys are considering, versus the Vermilion NAACP map, you'll see it is the same basic shape. Yes, there's some little movement, but this map gets near proportionality where there's still a 200-person difference here. And when we're talking about the law, what I think is important is not what is legal or not, but what's actually fair, right? You all are the decision makers. A lot of times in lawsuits, the courts will quickly say it's not their decision to do, especially redistricting. They want to listen to the locale. You have the opportunity, because this map's going to be in place for the 2026 election, to empower voters to have equal districts. Thank you so much, Councilman Guzman. Now, one of the things that Jordan mentioned was that there are traditional redistricting principles, things like compactness, right? We don't want districts that are going all over the place, and there's metrics that you can look at it. These metrics, the last page of that black and white handout I gave you has all the population data, racial data, but it also has compactness scores. The compactness of the districts are very similar, but the big advantage of the Vermilion NAACP map is it unpacks District D. That is a separate issue that's not part of this litigation, but is a decision that you all will be either affirming or improving or fixing with this map. The current Abbeville City Council map that you all are proposing, District D, does not move, which means it would be the same sort of configuration since 2010. The total population in District D is 70% total Black population. That is packing a district of Black voters. What our map does is it unpacks those Black voters out of District D, still keeps it a majority Black district, but allows everyone in Abbeville to have equal voting power. I understand you may have questions at the end, but I can answer you now. If not, I'll conclude to say that, yes, we're in active litigation. We want to resolve this. We want to ensure everyone has equal voting power. And one person, one vote is something that's not only in the Constitution, but it makes sense. We want to ensure that wherever you live in Abbeville, your vote counts the same. You guys had this decision in 2022, and you decided to retain that unconstitutional map. You have the opportunity now to pass a map that is the same, very similar to what you're considering, but have that near proportionality and avoid the racial gerrymandering issue that could set up for the future. So I'll answer any questions that you have, but I appreciate your guys' time. Thank
Great timing. Thank you.
you. Thank you.
Any other questions for City Attorney Jordan?
No. But I do have a statement, this is Megan. I do have a statement for the councilman, for the constituents in Abbeville. I just did a poll myself, like in the last 4 hours, just to see what the constituents feel about this topic. You know, and the people that participate is only for Abbeville. Within a short period of time, we had, well, I personally had a lot of people that actually signed a petition that's stating that the one vote for one would be the fair way to go. You know, to just make it equal. You know, we just, like we just said, we saw an election that recently happened. That was one vote. You know, I think with the problems that we're having, trying to figure out the map and things of this nature, let's get as closest to fair as we can. So the number game, this is 200 votes difference map compared to the 20 vote different map that the NAACP is proposing. You know, I think that would be better for our community. I think the constituents feel the same way.
Thank you, Ms. Raven. And ultimately, it's going to be Judge Summer Hayes that sees appropriateness or not. And Jordan, anything else you want to add?
Just a few things I would say. Mr. Susi talks about unpacking District D and uses these buzzwords, packing and cracking, and those are considered an entirely different cause of action. That is not the cause of action that was sued on, and why this map was looked at to begin with. So I think using those buzzwords may prick some ears up, but really they're irrelevant under the situation. The other thing I would say is that plaintiff's map. Well, let me add that the word gerrymandering is also falls into that category of not considered under the cause of action that we're here for today. The other thing I would point out would be that Mr. Susi's map is not the map that they suggested when they filed this lawsuit. It's a new version as of the last month. So I'm not sure the motive behind providing multiple maps and trying to get us to comply with multiple maps, because that creates voter confusion to begin with. And to address Miss Raven, is that your is like I said, there is a range. So it may be people, but there's a range that the court looks at and accepts as constitutional. And then the burden shifts, the legal burden. So both of these maps are within that range.
Right, the better one would be the one that's closer to the main.
Well, there is case law that says that one is not more equal than the other because the percentage is lower. So, but that is a judge question to consider.
Thank you, Jordan. Heather, anything to add?
No, sir, thank you.
Engineering firm on top of this. Todd, anything?
Good.
Committee chair.
Need a motion? Looking for a motion.
Articulate the motion so we'll know what's going
Or
on.
the first one to consider ordinance to reapportion the districts in accordance with federal state laws.
I move.
We have a motion and a second by Councilwoman Broussard. Any further discussion, council?
Well, I've been studying this I've had these maps all week long. They've been sent to me, and I think the whole issue is involving my district and Councilwoman Broussard's district, right? And, so my understanding is we want to make it even, pretty much what it is, right? Am I asking the right question?
Yes.
And that's, I've been weighing that in my mind. So that's my comment.
And I'll ask for a roll call vote, please.
I would be accepting the,
This is item one to consider,
we're accepting our version.
this is to send it to the council.
Okay.
Correct, so that,
Committee action to send to the council.
right, to vote on our map.
All right, Councilman Campbell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Broussard.
Yes.
Council Chair,
Yes.
Councilman Plazo.
Yes.
I vote yes. It's unanimous.
Unanimous. And, Chair, you have any other items in your committee?
Yes, just consider an ordinance to amend section 1350 for loitering.
So real quick, that is an ordinance that deals with loitering in the city. We amended that ordinance, or we're looking to amend that ordinance to add to it sleeping on public property. So there's just be a provision in that ordinance that also makes it illegal for people to sleep on public property, which is dealing with a lot of people sleeping in the park or Magna Square at night, stuff like that.
Council, do we have a
Motion.
motion to approve that? Councilwoman Terry moves.
Second.
Motion and a
Councilman
second.
Plazonos. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ayes have it.
Thank you, committee chair. Committee chair has closed his meeting. We have 9 minutes before the council meeting will start.